Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to thank everybody.
Man, you something to share.
I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank the Austintown Trustees for hosting this for us. And thank you. And we're welcome at your house anytime I know.
We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
We'll get the bill for coffee later.
Dave will pay for that.
I want to thank Mike Dockery for taking these comments for us. Thank you.
Right now, this is Mahoney County Commissioners' regular board meeting, number 13, Austintown Township Hall, Old Town Road. It's Monday, April 8th, 2019, 5:30. Do we have any public comments? Yes. Do you want to come up?
Yeah,
State your name and address.
Okay. Tom Underwood, 3401 Linwood Drive. I'm actually a Trumbull County resident, but I work for Labor's International Union North America. I cover Trumbull, Mahoney, and 14 other counties throughout the state. This week, yesterday kicked off National Transportation Work Safety Zone Week, and we're unfortunate we already had a few hit this year in construction zones, and it didn't turn out real well. We're kicking up our safety program. Not only we're trying to get to work with Pat Giannetti and all the county engineers throughout the state to help them with their program needed with the local townships and villages. We'd like to work with your safety directors too. Anything we can help to promote and slow down traffic awareness. A lot of it's cell phones, people just not paying attention, speeding. We're hoping that the fines will really pick up this year, double, and maybe if they have to go to court for a second one, maybe it will extend some jail time on some of these people that just don't understand the slow down. It's all our residents that work for everybody and our members, and we're just trying to promote it this week. We have a television commercial with the lady from down around Newcomerstown. Her husband got hit and killed last year on a construction zone, and she was gracious enough to do a public service announcement for us. It'll be on Spectrum cables. It started yesterday. It's a very good clip if you watch it. It's on YouTube also. We're spending a lot of money to try and knock down these accidents that we had in the last few years. I believe there were 17 killed in Ohio last year in construction zones. We owe more our members and we owe more other local people. And we're just trying to get the word out. And, God willing that you guys can all do the same for your employees, because they're out there every day working. Same way with the county, their employees are out there working, along with all the other highway workers. And we just deeply appreciate if you take this in consideration. I'll be stopping back periodically, and during the summer, it's just not going to happen this week, but it's going to be an ongoing thing all summer long. We got to slow people down and make them drive respectfully. And I thank you for all your support and everything you guys do for the community. Commissioners, thank you for letting me speak. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Sam Swagger, 3rd, 4492 Vile Road, Austintown. I'm just going to like to congratulate. I'm the past president of the United Veterans Council of Greater Youngstown, which encompasses all the veterans organizations in Mahoney County. This year, we select Veteran of the Year, Youth of the Year, and Citizen of the Year. And it's a great honor to announce that Mr. Trafficani, good friend of mine, has been selected as Citizen of the Year. for the United Veterans Council, Greater Youngstown area. And also, I'll do it now, and I'll do it at our meeting, our great Austintown Fitch High School Concert Choir was selected as Youth of the Year for what they do for our veterans and our VA hospitals traveling around the United States performing. So, and this event will be on April 25th at Mount Heart Mary. So if anyone needs tickets, you can give me a call and I can see if I can get it for you. My number is 330-509-5269. And once again, brother, congratulations. You
Thank you,
deserve
sir.
it.
Really
And so
honored.
do our kids of Austintown. Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Bunlison. I'm the program coordinator for the SNAP-Ed Nutrition Education Program here in Mahoney County through the Ohio State University Extension. The county commissioners provide a lot of support to our local extension office, for which we're grateful. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the SNAP-Ed program and the impacts we've made in the past year with our program. So the goal of the SNAP-Ed program is to help limited resource individuals make healthier food choices and lead more physically active lives. And the SNAP-Ed program helps teach these individuals ways to make these healthy food choices fit into a limited budget. So I actually have a summary here today of some of the impacts that were made over the past year. I'm just going to kind of pass some of these out.
Caitlin, give one to Corelli in the back.
Absolutely. All right.
The ball.
Keep on the license. There we are. You're welcome. So,
Thank you, gentlemen.
So, on one side of this is a summary of the SNAP-Ed program's impact across the entire state of Ohio. And then on the other side, you'll see specific impacts for Mahoney County. So this is from 2018. So you'll see that the participants in the SNAP-Ed program, they're using MyPlate to make healthier food choices. They're using food labels to make healthier food choices and being more physically active and choosing water instead of sugar-sweet beverages. And you'll also see that we reached over 14,000 individuals in Mahoney County last year with our program, which we wouldn't be able to do that without all of our great partners we have throughout the county. We partner with over 20 agencies here in Mahoney County to be able to reach these individuals and make these impacts. So we're excited for this year. We have a busy schedule. We've had a busy year so far. We're always happy to talk to new people and new agencies about our programming. We do have a wait list for our program. So if anyone has any suggestions or recommendations, I'm happy to talk to you. And I have a business card here with me today. So thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, hearing none. Approval of the previous minutes of board meeting number 12, Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019, and approval of bills for payment. Do I hear a motion?
So. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes. Journal entries number 1, do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes. Number 2, agreements, engineers, A, B, and C.
Good morning, everyone, trustees. Letter A is an agreement with R&R Inc. for repairs of vehicle number 44. The estimated amount is $5,729.88. Letter B is an agreement with HLW Fast Track. This is for the purchase of real property needed for the new Raccoon Road Safety Upgrade Project, the amount of $360. The letter C is an agreement with Digital Realty LLC for the purchase of real property needed for the Western Reserve Road Phase 1 project, the amount of $2,500. All three are non-general funds.
Thank you. D, recycling, Luke.
Afternoon, Commissioners. D is an agreement with City Service to provide a county-wide electronic collection. That collection event is going to occur on May 4th. So item E is extension of Liberty Tire. This is for our tire recycling drive occurring on July 13th at Campbell Fairgrounds.
F and G, sanitary.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners. F is an agreement with Baker Painting and Coatings, and is to do painting work at the Boardman Wastewater Treatment Plant. as part of the ongoing upgrades and renovations to the plant. This painting will take place in the raw sewage pump building and also in the blower building. And now, G is an agreement with Comprehensive Work-Life Solutions, and that is for our employee assistance program. That is a 2-year contract.
H, Sheriff.
Good evening, Commissioners. Nancy, this is an agreement with the University of Akron Law School for the inmate legal assistance program in the amount of $28,000 non-general.
Thank you. Number 2, agreements A through H. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Middy.
Yes. Number 3, change orders, sanitary, A and B.
Yes, Commissioners. A is an extra work order number 2 with Joe Dickey Electric. This is at the Neander wastewater treatment plant. During the installation of a check valve into the new system out of the plant, it was discovered there were some blockages in the existing line. The subcontractor had to go in there to remove the blockages and make sure that the check valve would work properly. And B is extra work order number 5. This is for ongoing renovations in the business office. This is to put in new window sills, weatherproof the windows, and we had some problems with water leaking through these, causing some issues within the interior of the building. So this would eliminate that problem.
Number 3, change orders, A and B. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Middy.
Yes. Number 1, resolutions, additions. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Middy.
Yes. Number 2, resolutions of awards, OMB grants. Anna? Okay.
Commissioners, this is part of our community development block grant project. We went out for bid, and the apparent lowest and best bidder was RT Vernal Paving and Excavating in the amount of $115,976.06. Non-general, no bid.
B, Sheriff?
Yes, this GLT service contract is awarded to Trinity Service Group. It goes into effect May 1st for 2 years with the option of renewal for 2 additional years. This amount fluctuates every year based on the inmate population. This year we budgeted for $600,000.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, resolution of awards, A and B. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Middy.
Yes. Number 3, resolutions. A, Commissioners, resolution changing the county seat from the Commissioners' hearing room to Milton Township Fire Department at 15992 Milton Avenue, Lake Milton, Ohio, on Tuesday, April 16, 2019 at 6:30 p.m. B, sanitary.
Yes, that is a request of the Sanitary Engineering Department for the board to declare a necessity for the department to purchase 4 new vehicles. The department has 4 vehicles right now that have over 100,000 average miles on them. Some of those vehicles date back to 2004. So we're upgrading our fleet as part of our ongoing process to evaluate rolling inventory. And we will be buying 4 new pickup trucks, 4x4s. 3 of them will be used at the treatment plants for plowing of snow, moving of equipment. And then the 4th one will be used at the main office.
Number 3, resolutions, A and B. Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second?
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant.
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler.
Yes.
Commissioner Middy.
Yes. And that concludes our business portion of the meeting. Do we have any updates from the court? Sarah, do you have any updates from the court?
Yes, good evening, Commissioners and everybody from Austintown. It's wonderful to be out here. We've been working on our incentive programs, our tax abatement programs, and I'm happy to say that several of the Austintown companies have benefited from them. And between Infocision and McHenry Industries and some others, we've been able to create a lot of jobs out here and spur some new investment. We're looking for other new projects to come along, so if you hear them coming, we're very happy to do something along those lines.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. We also want to thank, again, the trustees for hosting us today. We want to thank you with that. And we want to thank all of the trustees from different areas of the county that are hosting our meetings. And we will be on the road with those probably in the next 2 to 3 months. We'll be on the road with 50 meetings in our townships. Would everybody from our county, all the people that work for us, please stand, introduce yourself, and give us a little rundown of what you do. Starting with Audrey.
Oh, I do nothing. I'm Audrey Tillis. I'm the executive director for the Board of Commissioners. I'm responsible for our revenue estimates. I'm also responsible for budget appropriations. I'm responsible for our debt issuance. Any of the projects and initiatives or policies that they want to set in place, I'm usually the one that's going to spearhead that for them, unless I can delegate to Anna.
And Audrey, you're an Austintown resident.
And I'm an Austintown resident, yes. And right now, some of the initiatives that we're working on, of course, is the sales tax. We have that renewal coming up, and everyone knows it's not an increase, it's a renewal. It funds our justice system, which is the sheriff, the prosecutor, the coroner, and our 911 dispatch. And we've been working with Chief Gavalier and Todd with the COG and the dispatch center. Part of that budget and the staffing that is here is also funded through that tax. And I think they've been doing a good job with the sheriff and moving that project forward for the whole county. I'm really appreciative of all the work that everyone's worked on that project. I've worked with them with that too. Another thing that I want to put up too is the 2020 census is coming up. Next year, everyone counts, so we need to get that word out. You can ask me for all that.
That's okay, thank you.
I'm Lou Vega with the Green Team, handle any and all things recycling here in Mahoney County. We have enough exposure, so I won't get too much into what we do, but I will say that check our website, greenteam.tc. We've just uploaded around 16 special events that are happening here in Mahoney County. All these events are open to all residents of Mahoney County, so hazardous waste and tires and electronics and appliances, shredded paper, we'll be able to take care of those for you as well. Lastly, we'll be coming out to all the townships to pass our solid waste management plan this year. And what we're asking for, the big changes that we're anticipating on our next plan period, which is a 5-year period, is the potential of moving to cart-based recycling for all of our residents of Mahoney County. In doing so, we would close many of the drop-off locations in areas where we're duplicating effort. This is not a small undertaking. We're looking at covering about 97,000 homes and looking about a $3 million project on that. Again, I will come out to every one of the communities and explain it further in detail. Thank you.
I am Commander Ken Koontz. I am the jail administrator for Mahoney County Jail. We have if everybody doesn't know, we have the only full-service jail in Mahoney County. We service everybody in Mahoney County. So if you're getting arrested in Youngstown and Austintown, Boardman, you're coming to the Mahoney County Jail. Currently, I think we house about 500 inmates. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for belly tonight.
Joe Edwards, the Mahoney County Sheriff's Office, fiscal officer, and let's say like Bobby spoke earlier about the tax coming up, which will be rolled to the family, everyone you know out there to vote for the tax. Thank you.
Pat Genetti, county engineer, sanitary engineer. At the sanitary department, I handle mainly engineering and construction projects. Obviously at the highway department, potholes, paving, patching, bridge work. As a somewhat new Austintown resident, one of the things that myself, Mike Doherty, Darren, and the chief are doing is we're going to start looking for right-of-way obstructions starting on New Road with some big mailboxes that might be in the way.
It's on the list tomorrow.
Hey, you know what? Well, the
That's actually a joke, but in all seriousness, what Mr. Underwood was talking about, people on the road, when you work on the roads, which I've done in the past, 25 miles an hour is fast. You don't realize it until you're standing out there and a car goes past you. So whenever you see the people out there working, slow it down, pay attention. I say it at a lot of meetings, pay attention to the road, don't text, don't drive. everybody out there wants to go home to their family the next, that night and wake up the next morning. So just be careful and take it easy out there.
And one thing while you're here, Pat, and Mike, I don't know whether we have the ability to curtail this, but the thing that I get the biggest pet peeve on in the summertime is those lawn cutting companies that stop in the middle of the road and they park. All weekend long, there was one parked on New Road going up the hill to turn on to Edinburgh. All they do is stop against the curb, they pull off and they stick a cone out and they get off with just a little Cub Cadet and cut somebody's grass. And cars gotta go out and around them. Is there a way that you can mandate like that they can get ticketed? Why can't they pull into the driveway where they're cutting? I mean, is there
They can pull in, but I think all of those companies are told not to pull in because they don't want to get blamed for breaking anybody's driveway.
The other thing too is backing out. I think the sight distance, maybe they can't see depending on where they're at with the trailer behind them.
I tell you, somebody's gonna get run over like Tom said, that these people look there, go there. They
Do they have the orange cones that they put out?
Oh yeah, they stick a cone behind them, but you're still trying to get around them on a 2-lane road, on New Road, and they're right on the crest of the hill. Somebody coming up over the hill is there in 2 seconds. So anyway, that's my.
Anybody else from our staff?
Yes, hi, I'm Bill Coleman from the Sanitary Engineering Department. I work for PAT, and also it is a department that is directly under the Board of County Commissioners. We have approximately 800 miles of sanitary sewer throughout Mahoney County, 85 pumping stations. We have a large presence here in Austintown Township. Recently, we worked with Austintown Township on the repair and relocation of the sanitary sewer and storm sewer system over on Ruby Court. So we do have a presence where we do work with the townships, the villages, and try to help keep our sanitary sewer moving. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna Diacenas. I work in the Commissioner's Special Projects Office. I'm the grants manager for Mahoney County, so I'm trying to assist other departments in obtaining grants or making sure that they're following all the new code and regulations on what rules are applicable to each grant. Like I said, I'm the Special Projects Office, so I'm kind of a starting point for a lot of the projects the commissioners want to organize. If a community member calls me, I can help lead them in the right direction to what departments they need to talk to, and other stuff.
Thank you. And do you want to introduce your group from Austintown?
I'll tell you what, we'll have them introduce each other, but may I, on behalf of the people of Austintown, thank you for being here. More importantly, thank all the county workers for what they do for this township. So we thank you very much. My colleague to the right is Dr. Glenn. My colleague to the left is Jim Davis, the trustees here in Austintown. Gentlemen, tell them who you are back there.
I'm Todd Schaefer. I'm the Austintown Park Supervisor.
Bob Gavler, Austintown Police Chief. I'm Derek Ravelli. I'm the Austintown Zoning Inspector and the Austintown Fire Inspector.
I'm Andy Frost, the Austintown Fire Chief, and there's no way he would work for me.
Officer Toth?
Dear Officer Toth, Austintown Township Police. Thank you.
The best.
I don't know about that.
Let's not forget our administrator, Mike Docker.
That's what you forget.
Jim is actually, I think, holding up some of the students.
There's one back there.
This is Jim Henshaw, who is our senior center director.
Hello, nice to see you. Well, we want to thank you again. Be safe on the road, as Pat and Tom have said. It's just a shame that the people still don't get the fact that they shouldn't be texting and driving or talking on the phone when they're old. Anyway, Dave, do you want to say anything?
I obviously have to say something. I'm back home. It's nice to be back here. I have to say that I sat up here for the first time 25 years ago this year. January of '94 was the first year I was honored to be able to serve our community. I think that I worked with Danny Frost, Bob Cavalier, Darren, as far back as there, and Officer Toad. And Ken was not too far behind, and I know that Mike Dockery, he was actually our fiscal officer at that time, and we made him our administrator. So January of '94, so this is 25 years this year. And at that point, when I started, I think I went 15 years up until 2009 without missing a meeting before my sister-in-law passed. And it was on a Thursday night, and we had our Monday night, and we had our meeting. It was the first meeting I'd missed. And actually, my mother came to every meeting that I ever attended here at Austintown Township. And in fact, I missed a meeting in 2009 when my sister passed after 15 years, and my mother didn't miss a meeting until almost 18 years, and before she missed a meeting. And the other ironic thing is tomorrow will be the 1-year anniversary that my mother passed away. And she sat in the front of the first or second row every meeting when Channel 19 had them on television here at the township. You always saw the back of my mother's head with her ink pen sticking out of it. She always had an ink pen sticking out of her hair. But, it's fond memories. It's where I've lived my whole life. I still reside in Austintown, and I love to give all of my counterparts from the township a hard time. But when you talk about a community and who represents our community and works on behalf, you won't find better people than Chief Cavalier, Chief Frost. Darren's a great zoning inspector, although I love to give him a hard time. Todd Schaefer, got to hire Todd in the park department, does a phenomenal job. Officer Toth is one of our DARE officers, second to none in the state. Mike Dockery has done a yeoman's job for a long time. Mike, how many years as administrator? 23 or 4?
1996 in the van.
96, yeah. So. Jim came when we opened the senior center up. Jim Henshaw did. Jim Davis. Actually, I got to work with Jim for 1 term in office. Did a great job as trustee. Doug newly appointed, and does a phenomenal job on behalf of all the residents, and one of the best educators we had come out of Austintown. He was a bad kid. That's how the good educators. He was really a bad kid. I was faster then, and I was smart enough to be scared of him when we were growing up. But it's welcome to come back, and it's a great opportunity, and I'm honored to be able to serve the county as well as the township for a lot of years. So thank you. And Pat Giannetti, I have to say that he had to move to Austintown. And he lives right down below me. So if that hill has any issues, I'm going to have Mike, can we get Pat Giannetti's number put on that sign instead of the police dispatch? Cell phone number. If anyone needs the engineer's cell phone number, see me after the meeting, and I'll provide it to you. So, but,
all right,
thank you.
Thank you, David. Anthony?
Yeah, I'd just like to echo the sentiments of my colleagues. It's always good to be in Austintown. Your community's growing exponentially. I want to thank your trustees and their wonderful staff. They're always very kind, very courteous. Department heads always return calls. They're out there every day working very hard for the citizens. And it's been a pleasure having a relationship that we have with everybody here in Austintown, working to make the county better and stronger. So it takes good people. We have good people here. I want to thank everybody here this evening, and look forward to continue our relationship that we've had for many, many years. So thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. That concludes our meeting. We will be here for the meeting for the trustees. We have a presentation that we will do to the Austintown trustees as well as the residents. So at that point, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Traficant?
Yes.
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Middy?
Yes. Next meeting Tuesday, April 16th, Milton Township. Thank you very much.
I call the meeting of the Austintown Township Trustees for April 8th, 2019. In order, will you please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. McGlynn?
Here.
Mr. Graham?
Here.
Mr. Nate?
Here.
Before we start tonight's meeting, I just want to ask everybody if we could have a moment of silence. Not only was he a friend of mine, but he was an Austintown resident. He was also a Mahoney County Deputy Sheriff. For those of you that don't know, Deputy Jim Brown passed away last week of a heart attack. When I started at the Sheriff's Office in 2001, Jim was one of the guys that made sure I knew my way. He's one of the guys that made sure I was safe. One of the guys that made sure that I got taken care of, that I didn't get picked on by the other deputies because they like to initiate the rookies. But Jim was just an all-around good guy. You couldn't ask for a better representative of the Sheriff's Office than Jim Brown. When it came time to create their honor guard, Jim was one of the guys, because of his military background with the United States Marines, stepped right in and helped them create their honor guard at the Sheriff's Office. Jim was currently serving, and he was assigned to the FBI and working for the Violent Crimes Task Force, taking some of the dirtiest of criminals off our streets here in Austintown and in Mahoney County. So I would ask at this moment, if you would, gentlemen, remove your caps. If we could just have a moment of silence in honor of Deputy Jim Brown. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Before we go on, let me first introduce everyone here, then we'll get into our programs. Our Director of the Senior Center, Jim Henshaw, all the way to the right there, our Park Superintendent, Todd Schaefer. Welcome back, Todd. Todd just had a few problems. So when they found out he had a heart, unfortunately the heart was doing something wrong. To his left is our Fire Chief, Anthony Frost. Next is our Police Chief, Bob Cavalier. Our Zoning Inspector, Darren Crivelli, who wants to be, what do you want to be? You want to do something in the fire department? Fire Chief. Our Town Administrator and Road Superintendent is Mike Dockery. To my right is Trustee Jim Davis. My name is Ken Corral, Trustee. To my left is Trustee, what's your name again? Doug McGlynn. And to our far left is the Fiscal Officer, Laura Wolf. Before we go any further, we have a great little thing that's going to happen to us in about 30 seconds. Ed Diacentis, who is the County Board of Special Development?
Special projects.
I like that, special projects.
Special projects.
Is here, and she brought a smile to our face as she came in with something that she wants to deliver to us. Ann, would you like to come up here, please?
Sure. I also have honored guests with me today. Carol Remedigo-Rigetti, Commissioner, David Ditzler, and Anthony Trafficani. And we're here to present the Austintown Township Trustees with a check for roughly $115,000 for the Idlewood resurfacing project through the Mahoney County CDBG.
Hold up too, I am short.
For the Community Development Block Grant Program. Austintown has always excelled in receiving funds through the program, and we hope they continue to apply for program funds next year. Trustees, are you coming down for a big check?
What do you want to do?
We'll come anytime for a big check. We'll come down for small checks too, anybody wants to make small checks.
You know, it's an opportunity we get. Unfortunately, the state has cut our community development block grant pools almost into a third. We used to give it about $750,000. We actually used to get about $750,000 for CDBG funds to provide to the county. and now it's about 350,000, and now we have to include all the cities, villages, and the townships as well. So it's really been restricted.
Okay, everybody smile. Give me your money.
You guys don't want the check, you get to get.
Oh, gotta get the check in.
You need it higher?
It's perfect now.
No, we're good.
Perfect the way you are.
You guys all look good.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Should we give this to the bank right now?
Yeah.
Sure, and sign. But you gotta endorse the back of it.
Tell them it's getting tens and 20s.
Thank
We're going to go in the back and sign all our paperwork now.
We were lucky enough to have the commissioners here for a meeting, and we did praise them. We are very, very, very proud of this set of our county commissioners for how down to earth they are. The fact of the matter is they're easy to approach. You can get a hold of them at any time if you want to. They do their job beautifully. They don't always agree, but they don't sit and fight with each other, especially in the press. So we thank you so very much for your service to the county and to Austintown.
Thank you, we appreciate that. Thank you.
You know, every year, I'm lucky enough to be a member of the Optimist Club, one of the finest organizations in Austintown. And God, I think I'm in my 8th year as an Optimist. And they have changed the name. It used to be Friend of Boys, then it was Friend of Youth. There were so many different changes. But their optimism is absolutely essential. But the most important thing is they go into programs that deal with young people and explain to them, in many cases, the way things are in the community and how they can help. In the last couple of weeks, they went through a couple of programs. We are proud to have a lot of the winners here today. I have to thank Joanne Solinsky, who was in charge of the poster program, and Bill Lowry, who's I can't believe he's here after his surgery that fast, and he was in charge of the oratorical contest and the essay contest. And because of this, and wait till you get some statistics about what went on in Austintown. If you think people don't participate, wait a second. May I introduce to you Joanne Solinsky, who is going to talk to us about the program itself, and then we're going to honor the winners today. Please.
Well, I am proud also to be a member of the Austintown Optimist Club, and we have been doing this program, Respect for Law, for many years, and then we decided that because we are an organization that does for the youth of the community, why not include them in it? So probably the last 4 years, we have been doing a poster contest with the intermediate schools. That's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And each year it has gotten better and better. And this year we had over 1,000 posters entered in this contest. There was something like 1,071 posters. So we were thrilled. And of course, it took a little while. It took a preliminary committee to go through most of them, and then we narrowed it down, and we had about 10 to 12 per grade. And then the Optimist members voted, and we came up with the winners. We did have a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place winner in each grade. But we are honoring the 1st place winners tonight and tomorrow night at our meeting. And I would like the girls to come up, and we were supposed to have all three, but I do not see our third grade winner, but I have her poster I can hold up. So, Anna Marie, would you like to come up? And Kyla? Okay, Anna Marie is fourth grade, Ina Marie is fourth grade winner, and Kylie is the fifth grade winner. And these girls, like I say, have come out first out of over 1,000 posters. And they have won a $25 Amazon gift card. They're going to be sworn in tonight by Chief Gavalier as Officer of the Day. You want to put your poster up?
Go ahead, you want to tell them the topic?
Yes. We do this respect for law. The topic of the posters was the police are my heroes. And so they all did these. I'm going to hold this one up so you can get it. This is the third grade winner. And they're going to get to go over and have a tour of the police station. And tomorrow night, they're going to be honored at our dinner, at our Optimist dinner. And tonight, they're going to give proclamations from the trustees here also. So we're very proud of the girls. And, okay, everybody get pictures, all right, with everything? All right. Okay.
Well, we're politicians, we have to get in the picture. I'll tell you what.
I think Nina's on this side, so I'm going to come over here. We're on the wrong side.
I'll be in the second row. That's what happens to the fiscal officer. And ladies, we thank you so very much. We congratulate you. I mean, to think that your posters won out of 1,071. Oh, jeez. I can tell you too, the optimists that sat there and judged this were very tired by the end of the day. Of course, most of them are in their 60s and 70s.
They're still young.
They're still
And they were all still in your class, Ken.
Yeah. I think what makes me most proud and to hear with this competition is this is not something that they have to participate in. This is just something that is optional for them to participate in, but to have over 1,000 students think enough of our police officers to be a part of that, I think that speaks, number one, volumes of the students. Number two, it speaks volumes of their parents and the upbringing. You guys are raising them right, so congratulations, and thank you to all of our students that participated.
Now my pleasure to introduce an outstanding young man who really was my student way back when, who is now the police chief here in Austintown, Bob Gavalier.
I'll tell you what, we'll hold it either way, because you guys are going to need to raise your hands.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you had mom and dad.
Go ahead.
I state your name.
I state your I, Ina Marie,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Ohio,
of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of patrol officer
the duty of patrol officers
of the Austintown Township
of the Austintown Township
and of Austintown Township
and of Austintown Township
Police District
Police District
in Austintown Township,
and Austintown Township,
Mahoning County,
Mahoning County,
State of Ohio,
State of Ohio,
during my continuance
during my continuance
in office.
in office.
Now you got 1 hour that you can arrest someone who's still carrying a gun.
And just remember, if you choose to arrest your parents, you do have to go home and sleep there tonight.
And you know, when Jim Davis was sworn in, he said, "I state your name."
Girls, parents and relatives, come on up. Come on up. Come on up. Our local television station is taking a picture, so we watch it all. Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the contest and the people who brought them into this world. Congratulations. Now it's my duty, and it's probably a very good duty, to inform you that at this point, we're going to go into the meeting, where we will take about a 2-minute stay, so that you can all shake hands with everyone, and we don't have to skip stuff. Oh, Chief, I'm sorry, the Chief has it.
I just want to thank everybody for participating again. I want to really especially thank the Optimus Club.
Whenever he's done.
The police department in the state of Ohio to receive grants. We have to do what's called community-oriented policing, where we reach out to communities and do a lot of things with the community. And by the Optimus Club doing this, stepping up and having a poster contest for us, it helps us reach out to the community, and they're doing the work for us in that. I want to thank Jeff Toth also. Jeff does a lot of community-oriented policing for us. He not only does a DARE officer, he does crime watch, he does seatbelt checks, he does a lot of stuff to reach out to the community here. So that intense helps us to get grants from the state of Ohio. And over the last couple of years, we had 5 officers paid by grants because we give these community programs out. But again, I want to thank the Optimus Club for helping us to achieve that. Thank you. And Jeff Toth, take it over to the station. I'll take it to work.
And don't get your hopes up. You know, the stories you hear about donuts, it's not true.
1 hour. If I was just preparing them, they go the other 1 hour.
Optimus, thank you. Thank you.
Listen, I have a list.
Oh, wait a minute. I'll leave it, you can't.
Yes.
Joanne, Chief of Staff.
Chief of Staff.
S.
I didn't even introduce the chairman, because his wife doesn't.
Thank you.
I do.
Meeting's back on next. We got 2 of them.
Oh, yeah?
Come next.
6 months ago, that's one.
Week and a half ago.
He's not feeling
Every 2 weeks, yeah. I was on the walker every day.
Before they leave, just to make the point, that also during this last couple of weeks, they did the oratorical contest, and the oratorical contest was done in the middle school. It is for boys and girls, the 8th grade. I'm sorry, what was the title?
Actually, we chose as a club to choose the topic this year instead of what the international games, which was always something about optimism. And we thought something that would be more of a current topic, something that the kids could really get their teeth into would be better. And with what was going on with the approval of Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh, and later on with the governor of Virginia and some other issues, the topic was pro or con.
what you do as an adolescent should affect you as an adult.
It was, I had the privilege of being a substitute judge at the last minute.
That was the essay, I'm sorry. That was the essay.
What was it?
The oratorical was, in a perfect world, is optimism still necessary?
These are 8th graders. I was a speech coach for 30-some years. And let me tell you, these male and young ladies who got up there were so absolutely sophisticated and absolutely perfect in what they did. It was such a difficult task picking the winners. But we will, the winners were, the first place was Elizabeth Jadu.
Right.
The second place was Abby Hughes, and the third place was Mara Noel. So they were outstanding, but they were winners above winners, because everyone in that contest was a winner. So I congratulate you for that also.
And Leah Hill was the winner of the essay.
No.
Leah Hill.
Leah.
And I want to thank you because it was literally a last minute call to Kenny and help us out and be a judge. It was
I
so
haven't
gracious
judged
to do
a
that.
speech contest in 30 years. It's
Yeah.
something that's fun.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, back to the agenda. Motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 25th and the special meeting of April 3rd, 2019. Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes. Okay, Michael, administrator's report.
Nothing to add to the monthly report, just direct your attention to A2, the motion to authorize participation in ODOT winter contract for 2019 through 2020 road salt. I guess that's the best notice we got that the previous winter is over with, and so they asked us to do our bidding for next winter, which is the same 3,000 tons that we always bid, and we're liable for 90% of that, and they'll give us up to 110% of it.
Someone asked me this morning, you know, we had so many problems with the price fluctuating for a few years to the point where it's ridiculous. Now, we've become part of this. If we find, which we won't, but if we find some other one that's cheaper, would we be out of this?
Well, you're doing a contract, so like I say, we're on the hook for 2,700, but maybe the next year we would go find another supplier.
But it's next to impossible
Right.
to get you to find.
Yeah, ODOT typically has probably the best prices because they buy so much, don't they?
Exactly. And you know, a couple years ago, because I think they took so much heat during that one winter when the price really jumped, a couple years ago when we had that mild winter, nobody came close to using their salt, and they didn't ask for any penalties.
If I'm not
So I think that was their way of trying to
Yeah.
get a better reputation amongst the communities.
The year before, it was like $42 a ton, and it went up to $142 a ton. And then they went back. They went back a little bit to about 80-some dollars.
Yeah, last year was 32 and this year was back to 53.
It's 50, yeah.
You just don't know. It's almost salt's available.
But we've got to have the salt, otherwise we're going to get more phone calls about whether or not salting my road. Insulting my road, I should call it. Okay. Anything else, Michael?
No.
Do we have to have a motion for that, Michael?
Yes, to approve
Okay, we
that
have a motion
contract.
to approve the contract with the ODOT.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Crandall?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes. Okay, now we'll go into our departmental business. Is there anything else up with the road?
Nothing more.
Okay, thank you. Chief, how about the police department?
The only thing I want to add is 2 weeks ago I was notified that the state has signed off on a couple of grants that we have, and we're usually getting a check for about $9,300 for computers and $28,000 to pay for a car for a second purchase.
Do you get the car or you don't? I do, that's right. Who members of the police department?
Captain Claus gets it.
Fire Department, Chief?
Not much with the fire department, but I had a visitor today from the Turnpike. And I'm sorry to say that we are going to have about 6 months of some major renovation on the Turnpike in our township. The gate down here when you get on the interstate is mile marker 218. Austintown is 221 to 223. There's 2 miles that is in Austintown. Those are the exact locations of the lane changes that are going to happen. So anybody heading east, which is toward Pennsylvania, you will be directed over to the westbound lane in a single lane with no ability for emergency vehicles to get by. So it's going to be, we're going to have to be very nice to the Canfield Fire Department and probably have them come in from the east, and we'll come in from the west then. And then next time when this is in their town, we'll obviously just do the same thing. But for right now, first 3 months, beginning tomorrow most likely, it could be the following day, but probably tomorrow. If you are heading east, do yourself a favor and go 680 to the Turnpike in Poland as opposed to getting on out of here. It's going to be very bad, and I'm sure we'll be having many accidents here just because of what it is. So they try and minimize that. They do a fantastic job, but it's just the nature of the business. So heading west, you should be fine. It sounded like they're going to have 2 lanes. We're going to be out there tomorrow just to take a look at everything. But anybody heading east on the Turnpike toward Pennsylvania, head to Poland and get on there.
You know, it's ironic, when I was a trustee 20 years ago, they were complaining about Interstate 80 and 76. Yet we had very, very few accidents on there. When they started rebuilding I-76 and 80 for safety reasons, we had 7 deaths, about 20. We just had a couple of accidents again. And we take care of much of that Interstate 76?
The 76 coming out of Akron?
Yes.
It changes at the Turnpike Bridge. So we really deal with 80, but everybody considers this 76.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's right.
So it's just a weird, the way those are, it's a weird thing. So we get mostly 80, anything 76 for us is up on the Turnpike. Because that's what starts heading toward Pennsylvania.
But any accident on 80, we have to go to it.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. And our big problem is the Turnpike, because again, we have to go to North Jackson to get on, to get to our section of it. So it's just a weird thing, but it's like that the whole way across the country. But it just poses some problems for us. But unfortunately, we're gonna have some accidents there. If we can keep our people out of that area, it's much better. And then in 3 months, they're going to switch that to westbound lane when they come over to the east side. So keep everybody updated.
Thank you, Chief. Moving now to the zoning department. Derek?
And I'd ask the board to approve the nuisance resolution under ORC 5.87 for the following properties: 5592 Baylor Avenue, section of displaced sidewalk, stored exposed areas in the front yard. 44 South Edge Hill is a lot of garbage, junk, debris. That's a rental. It looks like it's vacant, and clearly somebody is attempting to clean it out, but for the amount of stuff that's there, there needs to be a trash pickup every day, because the stuff out on the street is obstructing the fire hydrant. So we'll put them on notice to do more pickups or work to it. 5490 Blue Ida Boulevard, that's a property where a few years back, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, we demoed the home. There's a tree that came down near the road, which we're going to have to remove. 439 North Raccoon Road, a collapsed building within the easterly rear yard at the northerly terminus of North Yorkshire Boulevard. You actually approach it from North Yorkshire. The building collapsed. I know it collapsed last year, and I cited them and gave them some time. I think that one just dropped through the cracks, but we'll get that taken care of. 617 North Raccoon Road. It's a house that really jumped debris across the baseball fields.
Second.
Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
And then kind of a good news, bad news thing. The good news is the board will remember, I believe it was late last summer, we applied for a grant, or basically did the paperwork for no lot sound wall on Route 11. That petition was initially started by a couple of residents up there, and we did a mailing of a petition that we created, and we got a number of them back, but there were a couple of residents there who went and knocked on doors to get the people who didn't respond to sign. But regardless, ODOT advised us by email that our grant was approved and is fully funded. That's the good news. The bad news is the projected construction date is April 2023, 4 years away. And then also, in January, I went to the county commissioners meeting in Morton and asked them to support a Clean Ohio grant on behalf of the trustees and our park director, which they did. That grant is about for $145,000 for land acquisition north of New Road. And we received that grant. We were one of 3 grant applications. All 3 grant applications were approved based on the quality of the grant applications. However, there wasn't enough funding to fund all the grant applications. So what they decided to do is they'll formally award it in July. This is round 13. Round 14 starts in July. They will then borrow money from round 14 to pay for the grants for round 13. And then the property owner, prior to doing this, agreed to donate our match. So we took up about 18 acres of sensitive land and create permanent buffers for a number of property owners. I forget what that number is. It might be about a dozen.
Thank you. All right, moving on to the park department. Todd, you're back to work. What's going on?
I didn't get a chance to get the report done, so I'll have to make sure I have that to you.
Does your dog eat it?
No, I just didn't do it. I'll have it to you for the next meeting. Other than that, tennis courts, pickleball courts, disc golf course, everything is open, up and running, and baseball and softball has started. Tennis has started, so the park is getting busy.
Super, thank you. Jim, what's going on at the senior center?
Oh, the same old thing, we keep getting older. Probably getting better. I do have to offer some thanks to one of our local stores that's going out of business, and that's Packet's Hands. Hopefully Michaels will see the error of other ways and put one out there, because there's a lot of seniors out there that use Packet's Hands. But for the past 4 or 5 years, whenever Packet's Hands did their inventory, their surplus that they didn't need, they sent to us. So all the decorations, the holiday decorations we have at the senior center, were donated really by Packet's Hands over the years. Well, since they're closing the store up here, they gave us a whole ton of stuff. Some of them we didn't know what to do with, but fortunately, the 20/9 Radio Club had their biannual craft show this past Saturday at the senior center, and so we just took the stuff we got from Packet's Hands, put it on the table, and we sold it. And the proceeds are going to the police dog fund, and we got quite a few extra donations for that as well. People would say, oh, it's $7, here's $10, put the $3 in the police dog fund. And some of it was going to our crafters. So I would like to thank Packet's Hands with their donations over the years.
Super, thank you. And our lovely fiscal officer, what's going on, Laura?
Well, last week we had a nice little mini audit. They decided we were going to get picked for auditing the retirement system reports. Those are the police and fire and the Ohio public employees. And so they came in, they looked at everything, and he was here around midday and just got notice that they released the report. Everything was in order, and they're done with that. But it was a nice little audit, so that's all done, and then I just have the reports for the month.
Great, thank you. Congratulations. especially the surprise on this. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, may I have a motion, please, to accept the march report submitted to the board for review for the fund status, review status, and appropriation status?
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
Mr. Grant?
Yes. Here's something new in here, new business. Since when do we have this on our agenda?
It's
New
always
business.
there, we just don't have it.
We just don't have new business, okay. Okay, we're at the point now where the public response. If anyone would like to speak to us, you can speak off camera or on camera. Let's do it off camera. Is there anyone that would like to speak off camera? Seeing none, let's move on to the public response on camera. Would someone like to speak to us, please? Go ahead, Sam.
Sam Swogger, 4492 Bottle Road. Just like to reiterate what I spoke at the commissioners meeting about, I'm past commander of the United Veterans Council, Greater Youngstown, and that encompasses about 40-some different veterans groups, all the VFWs, American Legions, all the veterans organizations. And every year we do a Veteran of the Year, Citizen of the Year, and Youth of the Year award. Well, this year, I stayed at the commissioners meeting, Mr. Trafficani was awarded and selected Citizen of the Year for what he's done for not only the community, Mahoney County, but our veterans and our military within the county. And our youth award went to our young men and women. Austintown Township Concert Choir received it this year. So they will be receiving the award and all the proclamations that go with it. Unfortunately, they will not be here. The banquet is April 25th. They will be doing what they do best, singing. So they will be at Norfolk, Virginia, at the VA hospital performing for our men and women in the hospital there in Norfolk, Virginia. But I just want to let everybody know that. Congratulate the kids and Mr. Kine and the Austintown Fitch school system for a fine group of young men and women. The other thing I have is Memorial Day is coming up. I think this would be a good time to get a hold of our police chief, the fire chief, our road department, everybody let know it's coming up May 27th. Time, place is the same as every year. Mark's parking lot. We lead off at 10:30, so we want everybody there by 9:30 to get ready. Our keynote speaker this year will be Sergeant First Class McGinnis, a young lady who served a number of tours in Iraq, Afghanistan. She is a proud winner of the received the Purple Heart for her wounds in combat, and she will be our keynote speaker this year. So I just want to let everybody know, make sure everybody's on board for without our community and our trustees and our road department, police and fire department, we can't do these things, you know. And thank you very much for all you do for us and our veterans. So that will be going on May 27th. And so I'd like to see everybody there. This is not a throw candy event. This is a Memorial Day parade. Thank you very much, and God bless America. Thank you.
Sam Sergeant McGinnis is a really, really good person.
Yes.
Great speaker. Does a lot with kids at schools. And, I know she's in charge of recruiting and things for this whole area.
Yeah.
She does a great job. That's a good pick.
Tony's son's going to be part of the recruiting.
You got transferred down there.
No.
You're there in June or July.
Great.
Thanks.
It's good there's no candy because Ken's wicked when you start candy.
Anybody else like to speak, please? Seeing none, we'll go over to comments from the administrators. Laura? Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll be different, I'll be first this time. Real fast. A number of things I want to remind everybody. The Austintown schools do a great job of having a senior dinner, and that's coming up on April 24th. And the thing is, you have to get your reservations in by the 19th. It costs you $2, and let me tell you something that it's nothing compared to what you get, and it's a very interesting thing. The students serve the senior citizens, and they do a great job. The other thing is, the young lady I call the Mrs. Austintown, Joyce, oh my God. Bogey. I'm having a senior moment here. Joyce Bogey. Joyce started with a bunch of other people, the Historical Society. It's been going on for years. And if Jim's going to talk about the 4th of July today, he'll mention them. But they have their fundraisers too, but they're outstanding. They have a tea going on at the Strock House, and it's their 29th year of that. It's on the 28th. It's been so big that they literally had to go from a tea to 3 teas, 3 different sets of teas on that date at 11:32 and at 4 p.m. So if you're interested, you can call the township or something of that sort that we can get involved here. 2 other things. We're going to, in May, we're going to have an election. And believe it or not, it also includes Austintown. And most of the places that are going to have any big elections in May will be Struthers and Youngstown. But all of Mahoney County is going to vote on the renewal of that. It's the law, the justice grant, and we worked very hard to get it going. This is a renewal. It's simply a renewal. But the fact of the matter is, I want Austintown people to take their time. They're going to have to go to their polls and vote, and it's all it is on the ballot for Austintown people in May is only one issue, and that is it. And I hope you get there to do it. They mentioned at the last meeting when we hear from the county commissioners about the 1920 census. I'm going to keep saying this every time I can and any place I can. The last census was a joke, and 2 of them before that were a joke. People get out and start telling people to stay home. Don't go in and fill out the census thing and so on, because you'll get called into jury duty and stuff like this. What everyone has to understand is, from our point of view, the money that the federal government gives us, including the state, is based on that census. And the last time our census was at least 3,000 people short. Every person who fills out that census, for every person they do, that gives us the right to get money from the state and the federal government. So under no circumstances should you ignore it. If you need help filling it out, just call the township hall and we'll come and help you. No problem with that. My last thing is this. We're getting into the summertime, so the kids aren't out of school yet, but a lot of things are going to start happening. But what I'd like to say is this. We have a great zoning department. They are the most unloved people, I think, in Austintown. Because unfortunately, they have to go around and tell people what to do. The irony is that townships, even though we are the majority of voters in the state of Ohio, don't have a lot of rights to tell people, you could be a slob, and all we can do is say, shame on you, we can't do things, there's only specific laws we can deal with you. But always remember the old adage from our Bible, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. For goodness sakes, look at the slob that you are doing, the stuff that you may be leaving in your lawn and so on, and all the other people around you. Somewhere along the line, have the heart to understand that everyone is living here and they're paying their taxes, they're doing all the things that have to be done. And they don't need people living next to them that are slogs. Okay? That's it for me. Doug?
Just a couple things for Jim Brown and Brown family. I was fortunate to work with Stephanie for a number of years, his wife, and my condolences certainly go out to them. Wonderful family, wonderful kids, great people. And I want to thank the veterans group because you guys have really stepped up and helped her a lot, provided her with a lot of support. And I think that's really, really important. This week, there's a couple things going on. National Honor Society will be going on this Friday at Fitch High School at 9 o'clock in the auditorium. Also, I had the privilege of going to watch Shrek, the play. Outstanding. I mean, kids have always put on a great play. No, Tony was on Shrek.
I remember that.
I'll tell you, the kids did an outstanding job. Bill Klein did a great job. You know, Bill's so artistic and so into making the kids have a ball with things. Just like going to Norfolk. I've been doing that for a lot of years. And it's just a great thing to see them do that. And the play was hilarious. They did a really good job with that. Also, as Ken's talking about the justice tax, you know, keep in mind when we passed our police levies, and I talked a lot about how many different things are happening in the township. Sometimes we're utilizing the sheriff's department to help in those situations. You know, things that happen in the township don't always die down. Last month we were over 3,500 different offenses and calls in the township. That's a lot of calls, and it doesn't diminish as we get into the summer, so you need help sometimes, and sometimes that's the sheriff's department and some of the programs they offer. So, you know, keep that in mind. It just doesn't affect Youngstown or the rural areas. It also affects Austintown more when you need backup and you need help from that standpoint. I did attend about a week and a half ago the District Board of Health meeting. There are several things that they are doing. Number one, they're changing their name. They're going to go to the Mahoning County Public Health Agency. So they're going to change their name. Instead of being the Mahoning County Board of Health, they're going to be the Mahoning County Public Health. But they talked about some of the programs that they're offering to different, and I wish Pat was here tonight when the commissioners met, to have her speak on some of the programs that they have. Just a couple with health services throughout the county. They do provide pack and plays, they provide immunizations, they provide infectious disease investigations and immunizations. A lot of things they're doing, a lot of things that they're doing throughout the whole county. And they're looking to expand more through telecommunications. And I think that's a great idea for them to get more publicity and spread the word a little bit more from that standpoint. That's all I got.
Okay, James?
Well, I don't have a whole lot to say. Real quick, just a brief update on our, Ken, since you mentioned it, the 4th of July events, so everybody's aware. Sunday, June 30th will be our fireworks event. That's the party in the plaza. It'll be from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m., always the Sunday before the 4th of July. This year, we actually just announced last month that Chris Higbee is going to be the headline act, and he puts on one heck of a show. So we invite the entire community to come out and participate with us. As always, it's free to get in. Doug, you talked about NHS. The National Honor Society will be collecting donations at the gate, though, and those donations do go to the National Honor Society. So otherwise, though, it is free to get in, and there will be plenty to do. Everything from pony rides to the entertainment to face painting, you name it, it will be taking place. Then Monday, July the 1st, we will have our farmers market. It will be patriotic themed. It will be at the Austintown Parks. So that is a great thing, and we hope that not only on that date you get out, but also that actually gets ready to kick off here in the month of June at the parks. That is the farmers market, and it is Shannon, Roy, and Todd put on a great event there, so please stop out and take part in that. Another great event in the park will be the next night, Tuesday, July the 2nd, from 7 to 8:30. The concert in the park with the Canfield Community Concert Band playing patriotic music. The veterans will be there to present the flag, and we will have also some interesting little extras for you that evening at the concert in the park. That is part of our Concerts in the Park series. Also, that is getting ready to kick off in June. So don't miss an opportunity to see some great free concerts in the park. Wednesday, July the 3rd, will be the annual car show from 5 to 8:30. We're finalizing all the details on that. We'll get those details to you as far as where you can go for that event and where all the registration and whatnot. But that as well is free, so we want you to come out and take part in that. And then Thursday, July the 4th, the log cabin flag raising. Ken talked about Mrs. Austintown, Joyce Pogany, her and the Historical Society. She and the Historical Society will have the flag raising at 8:30 that morning. And that is a great event. It's an opportunity to walk through the log cabin, take a tour, also get some free danishes and some coffee, and get to hear a great good morning and welcome by one of the local ministers. That event is about a half hour long. It's fun to be a part of, and we look forward to seeing you there. And then, of course, at 12 o'clock noon, and since we solidified the name of it today, I will announce it, so I know there's people already asking. The theme of this year's parade is How Sweet It Is. Austintown, How Sweet It Is. And the reason we're doing that, I will also tell you that our chairman of the parade, our 4th of July chairman, will be, or I should say our Grand Marshal will be Jim Molnar from Molnar's Concessions. I don't think anybody in our community hasn't at one time tasted one of his sweet Molnar cinnamon rolls. So this year's theme is Austintown, How Sweet It Is. So we're looking forward to having him. I'm also pleased to announce WFMJ TV 21 has agreed to be one of our host sponsors. They will be sponsoring that. They are the only local news station. They pride themselves in that. So they want to be a part of our big hometown event. So they will be at the party on the plaza for the fireworks. I'm sure you'll see them at the concerts in the park. And then, of course, they will be one of our parade judges. So we're looking forward to seeing who they send us for those events. They are always a fun time to have them around, and we look forward to that partnership with FMJ. I wanted to mention quickly, this board, we've actually, one of the things we've done is we've begun, just before Doug joined us, when Rick Stock was here, we began negotiating the contracts with our departments. And it has saved the township, I can tell you, between the police and fire department, nearly $50,000 of the taxpayers' money that we have saved through paying attorneys. But we're getting ready to wrap that up. And one of the things I wanted to mention, and I think it's important, and I think about a lot, this has come lately, and I don't want to say it's ironic, but one of the things we've asked our employees to do is become AED and CPR certified throughout the entire township of all of our employees, whether they work at the Parks Department, the Road Department, or police and fire. Police and fire typically do that on an annual basis, but we've asked our employees to do that as well. And it really hit home recently with Doug's wife, who had a massive heart attack, 100% blockage. Todd Schaefer, who just had a heart attack in Cincinnati. He was down there for a weekend getaway and had a massive heart attack. And I can't help but think that, and only hope, that maybe one of our employees who will be walking through Walmart and somebody has a heart attack, or maybe one of their family members, that it would save a life. Todd, I'm glad you're here. Wouldn't be the same without hearing you say, "Hey, boss." "Yes, boss." So it really hits home when you think about that. And so one of the things I actually just wanted to do is encourage our residents that if you have an opportunity to take part in a class like that, become CPR certified, AED certified, anything where you could render first aid to one of our residents, maybe a family member, take advantage of it, because you really never know You never know when you're going to need it. And I want to follow that up with saying to individuals in our community and our employees, if something doesn't feel right, take the time and get checked out. Because honestly, I don't know what we do without having Todd here. I love him dearly. Not only is he an employee, but he's a very good friend of mine. I just couldn't imagine life without having some of these people in my life. So please, if something doesn't feel right, get checked out. That's all I got.
Thank you very much. Okay, a motion please to recess for executive session for the following: to consider appointments, employment, discipline, and compensation of public employees, or conducting or reviewing negotiations in bargaining session.
Second.
Mr. Davis?
Yes.
Mr. Crano?
Yes.
Mr. McGlynn?
Yes.
In association with Austintown Local Schools and Austintown Township.